There are mysteries all around us, and we are fascinated by what we cannot understand. Inexplicable phenomena are discovered every day, keeping our curiosity piqued and the prospect of knowing the world around us a foreign concept. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be exploring 3 missing persons cases. British man rescued after being lost 3 days in Thai jungle. Imagine this: you are bored of the city life, you need a break from your ordinary schedule, so you visit Thailand. Then you tell your wife you are going to take your motorcycle and check out the local rice fields, maybe go visit some friends on the way. Well, this is exactly what happened to 72-year-old Barry Weller, except he did not return home. 3 days after he headed out, he was luckily found alive by local residents who alerted the authorities and reunited Barry with his wife. When found, it was reported that Barry had scratches all over his legs, his shirt was torn open, and he had lost his shoes. While Thailand's jungles are home to the likes of bears, tigers, leopards, and elephants, locals had said that particular part of the forest is not considered dangerous. Prior to reporting her husband missing, Weller's wife had searched for her husband herself, but to no avail owing to the heavy rain that day. After being alerted, authorities found his motorcycle parked in a nearby paddy field on the Tuesday evening after he left home. Barry was found deep in the Bangkok forest by a local hunter. He was asleep on a rock at the time of recovery. He was apparently tired after looking for a route out. Videos of him being reunited with his wife show him to be tearful and overjoyed, with Barry later adding that he had never been so happy in his life. It's not quite known exactly what happened to Barry during his 3 days of disappearance. He later told reporters that he had parked his bike in the field to continue up the mountain on foot. However, later he couldn't find his way back. Surviving on fruit and rainwater puddles on rocks and using grass as a straw, he appeared to be in fair health, but was still taken to the hospital for a checkup. Either way, it was pretty miraculous, and Barry knows it too. Weeping, he praised the locals for the amazing work they did and continued to do so, recognizing he owes them his life. F.P. Shepard Yosemite National Park disappearance. Yosemite National Park has been home to many a mysterious disappearance, with dozens if not hundreds of missing persons cases dating back to 1909. With huge expanses of open terrain, finding people in Yosemite backcountry is not always a given. Records show that some people are indeed found, other times only their remains, from people falling to their fate, freezing, and even drowning. However, in many cases, people disappear completely, with no trace, no camping gear, no clothing, no clues, nothing. The very first recorded missing persons case in Yosemite National Park was June 17, 1909. Recorded many times in the history books and archives, one F.P. Shepard apparently went on a hike that afternoon with 2 female companions. They soon grew tired of the walk and left Shepard to himself. Instead, they went back to the Glacier Point Hotel to wait, and wait, and wait. According to reports, it was a foggy day to begin with, and Shepard was headed for the Yosemite Cliffs. When he did not return to the hotel and to his female companions, the hotel staff were notified, and in turn, the park authorities too. The next day, US cavalry riders set out to scan the nearby grounds, checking trails, meadows, and canyons alike, doing everything they could to try and find Shepard. They even risked their lives checking cliff faces with grappling hooks and rope. However, still absolutely zero trace of the man. Shepard was never found. After a few days of searching, efforts were withdrawn as local park authorities concluded there was no way he could still be alive. It is still not known what happened to Shepard, and considering we are now in 2022, it would be almost impossible to find any clues or evidence now. The best theories from the time suggest that with the heavy fog, Shepard got lost and panicked, and perhaps ran off one of Yosemite's cliffs. However, even this cannot be verified, as neither his body nor any other clues were ever found. With Yosemite home to many other unsolved disappearances, it must be remembered that amidst the natural beauty and allure of solitude, there is also a more eerie, haunting side to the national park. Peter Larn, Los Padres National Park disappearance. Our final disappearance story unfortunately once again ends in tragedy. In 1982, at the age of only 20, Peter Larn went for a hike in the Los Padres National Park and was never seen again. Reportedly, after his father dropped him off at Tolland Road at around midday, Larn went off into the forest and is thought to have gotten lost. After an extensive search of all the nearby mountains, there was still absolutely no sign of Larn. By the end of the 8-day search, there was very little hope that he would be found alive, if at all. Again, to this day, there is still no sign of him, and very few details have been found regarding his case. Online archives still have information about Peter, perhaps quite optimistically, describing him as 6 foot tall, 140 pounds, and with a dog bite scar on the upper left side of his lip. With many unsolved disappearances across the big American national parks, there are many Reddit threads with postings of partial human remain findings, with people trying to match these descriptions to old missing person records. Unfortunately, with many cases going cold and being extremely old, as is the case here with it being 30 years old, it's usually highly unlikely that any recent finds match up to these old cases. But still, families who lack and therefore seek closure understandably do not give up hope. How could you? While there is no evidence of survival, there is equally no evidence of death in most cases. It seems puzzling that we can discover so many things about our ancestry from millennia ago, or about the creation of the universe billions of years ago, but here on Earth we often struggle to find answers to mysteries only decades old. Missing persons cases, unfortunately, often end up as a tragic tale, truly shrouded in mystery and likely never to be solved. Natural wear and tear from the elements mean that every day that passes decreases chances of recovery exponentially. And so it's important to celebrate the wins like the case of Barry in the eastern Thailand forest. But what do you make of these stories? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.